So I decided that I'm gonna make another set. I decided I'm gonna use the exact same yarn, different color, the Caron Blossom Cakes. It feels so good. I'm gonna make another cardigan, and this time instead of shorts I decided I wanted to make pants. And unfortunately I would have probably been done with the pants by now when I actually started, because I started with this side, and as you can see, it looks huge. It fits huge because I started from the top with the waistband to go down, and like I was even further than this, but I decided to start undoing it because I was like, I was doing decreases, and the shape of it, I did not like the shape of the decrease. I was like, that's not how I envisioned these pants looking. I wanted the pants to just look a consistent shape like normal, and I was like, these decreases are not what I wanted. And then like the last time I made shorts, I did it from the bottom up, but that was because I wanted to add the pockets, and I wasn't gonna add the same type of pockets to this, so I was like, I'll just start from the top and go down. Of course I didn't watch a tutorial or anything, you know, you just feel like you can do anything, and the sizing was just way too big because I was like, oh, I need to be able to go over the widest part of my hips. And then I just started going down, and I was like, well, it's not, it fits, but it's just huge, and I hated that. And then the legs were like getting too big, so I was like starting to decrease to match, and I was like, I was past my knees, and I was like, no, let's start over. So this is this half that I did, and I decided let's stick with what we know. So as you can see, these are a bit smaller in terms of the width. You could like comparatively see this one is like almost a whole 2 to 3 inches wider than the first go around. So this time I started from the bottom up. I was like, we know how to make shorts. I was like, all right. I did 2 loops. I'm 3 rows at the bottom for each leg, and then I connected them and then went up all the way up, and then did the waistband afterwards. The waistband I also did a bit not as good as I wanted, because I wanted the back of the waistband to be longer than the front, which it is. It's just when I was coming around to this side, I didn't start making it as long right away, so you could see that it looks shorter on the 2 sides comparatively. But hey, once I put the elastic in the waist, who's gonna notice? And when I'm wearing my cardigan over it, who's gonna notice? So that's fine. Another thing that's annoying is the way that I was joining the rounds. You learn something new every freaking day, because like every time I think, oh, I finally learned how to crochet in the round, I didn't. So it's like whatever I was doing at the bottom part was a pretty good thing, and then I switched to where I was doing chaining 2, and then that created these little gaps and holes, and then I was also moving, so it's not even perfectly straight like I wanted either. And I'm like, maybe when I'm done I'll fix it, because of course when I got to the leg, because I, you know, went back down, attached, started at the leg, I'm making the seam exactly how it's supposed to be made. It's a straight freaking, well, maybe it's moving, I don't know, but as you can see, there's no gap, but you could tell it's the seam, which is nice. It looks clean, and I'm like, that's the method I should have been making the whole time I was at the top. So I'm like, because it's made in pieces, I'm like, I definitely could just go back, undo it, and like start over, because it wouldn't mess up the legs. So I'm like, okay, when I'm finished with the legs, if I feel like it, I'll go and do that, because I really don't like how that looks, and I was thinking there's two ways I was thinking. Either go in, undo it, and fix it that way, or just go with a needle and thread and sew them just a little bit tighter. But I'm thinking the way how this looks is how it should look, so I'm definitely probably gonna, I mean, if I had the energy and effort to remake the same thing to the same freaking point. Well, actually, this one's a bit longer because, you know, make the same thing to the same freaking point over. I think I have the energy to go in and make it look the way I want. Because the whole time I'm looking at this, I'm like, it's too big, it's not flattering, it's not giving the look that I wanted. I was like, that was my biggest problem. And it's like, this was like 2 days worth of 2 nights. Like staying up really late worth of work. And I was like, I don't want to lose all the effort that I put in. But I was like, but if I don't like what I'm like, putting elastic in the waistband was not gonna save it. Like, it was just not gonna look the way I wanted, so I was gonna be unhappy. And it's like, why put that much time and effort into something if you're not gonna like it? It's for me, so I'm the one who needs to like it the most. And if I don't like this, and now I know how to do it so that it looks the way I want it to look, I should do it, right? So yeah, I'm gonna fix it, probably, but after I do the legs, because I'm like, I'm doing really good on the legs. I'm like happy. And they're also finally not adding stitches. That was another problem I found out that I had. So while I was doing this, I kept doing decreases, and every time I would do the decreases and I'm counting the stitches, I'm like, I started off with the first set of decreases, I ended at like 80. So the second time I did decreases, I expected to end at like 75. Why was it still at 80? And I was like, because I was doing decreases maybe every 5th or something row. And I was just like, that's weird. And it just kept happening. And then eventually I figured out that the way I was seaming up this one, I was adding stitches. And as you can see, this is what I mean by the line looking super like crooked. Like, it's not straight at all. Like, from the starting point, figured out that I was freaking adding stitches, and then the decreases and all that was a problem. So I hated that. So that was another thing. I learned how to join in the row properly without adding stitches. So I kept counting. I was like, I don't like counting when I do crochet, which is why I don't like patterns and anything. So I was happy I figured it out on my own and didn't have to watch a tutorial to figure it out. Just a lot of hours of trial and error, and I figured it out. So I'm gonna keep working on this and see how far I can get today. So in this clip, as you can see, this is not the pants anymore. I started working on the hexagon cardigan. Really don't remember when I started, but I believe that this is the first panel that I'm working on in this clip. And as you can see, I've got a decent amount done. I think it looks like it was probably like maybe 10 or so rows done. So it was definitely good progress there. And I'm just going to continue in the next clip to also be just working on this hexagon cardigan. So for the rest of this clip, it's just me working on it. And then the next one is also just a more zoomed in version of the stitches, just so you can see, yeah, that's definitely the granny stitch that I'm doing there. Hey guys, so in this clip you can see that the hexagon cardigan is almost complete. I don't have any clips of the rest of the process of me working on this, but I did add ribbing around the border, around the collar, the front sides, added pockets, added extensions to the sleeves. Each of these halves took one whole skein of yarn, and then while I was trying to sew it up together, I ran out of yarn, so I had to attach my third ball of yarn. So that third ball is what I used to make the sleeves longer, add the cuffs to the sleeves, add the borders, and add the pockets to the cardigan, which I'm so excited to show you. Today, I'm working on finishing up the last pieces. The last piece with the literal last bit of yarn I have left to complete my set. It was originally a two-piece, but hey, I had a bit of yarn left, so decided to make a little tube top out of it. Almost done, I think. Hopefully I can finish it up soon. Decided to do the linen stitch for the front, and it looks pretty good, I'd say. I think this is the top because I did some single crochets at the top just to, because I was like, well, I didn't finish the rest of the tutorial on how to finish the stitch, but hey, we got most of it done and it looks pretty. And also the edges looked so weird, and also it's way stretchier than I thought it would be, because I feel like single crochet is not that stretchy. So I was a bit disappointed in that, because I'm like, it looks like it's not gonna be see-through, but if it's stretching out, I don't want it to. So depending on how things go, I might add some lining to it. I do have a bit of purple fabric that I could probably use, and I have a lot of black fabric as well, so could use either one of those. So we'll see how far I get. Hopefully I'll be done soon. Also going to the movies later, so I would like to finish it before I have to go to the movies. そして忌々しいアルケミストシュトリースマート。奴らの大半が不在だと。お前どうやって調べた？フリックさん、私は研究バカではありません。赤社によらない目を至るところに潜ませています。絶縁には物理攻撃への対策を取れば対応は容易。またブレインである先編バンカはその指揮を受けるパーティーメンバーがいなければ実力を発揮できない。では問題はシュトリースマート。いえ、あらゆる手を使い私が構築したこの拠点の防衛システムは法に手段を制限されるアルケミストに攻略は不可能です。Alright, so it looks like I'm done with the tube part of the top. This is all the yarn I have left, and I'm like, will it be enough to make 2 straps? That is the question. If they're thin, sure, but I don't want them to be super thin, so I'm like, do I just leave it as a tube top and put the elastic in it and hope it will stay up? I think so. So I'm done. I finally finished it. It's my 3-piece set complete, fully equipped with pants, a tube top, and a hexagon cardigan. Fully equipped with pockets that actually have functionality, fit my phone, and a cute little heart pocket that also fits my phone. Very cute. So excited. Love this material because it works great in both the warm weather and the cold weather, because it's made with, this is the brand, the yarn has cotton and acrylic built in. And with my other 3-piece set, which was the shorts set, it worked great in Barbados, so I know that this is gonna work great in the summer too if I so choose. So excited, so happy. Actually gonna wear this fit today once I remove all the random stitch markers I still have in it and go to the movies to see Moana 2.